So we need a kind of catalyzing sci-fi and catalyzing stories, and we need to do it in a concerted way. I would say, as a national defense strategy, we should be funding more sci-fi. So a good example of this was Stargate. Stargate was actually funded by the Air Force. The Joint Chiefs of Staff oversaw the script writing. A lot of people don't realize this. So the very first series of Stargate was a joint operation between Air Force and Hollywood, and it was amazing. We got a lot of really great stories. You still get to have your suspense and your drama, but all in all, it was exploratory. And I think we need something similar today, maybe a new Stargate series with Space Force. That would be great. And those kind of team ups would be integral.
That's amazing. I like that. You're the president of the Multiplanetary Society. You're working in close relation with an array of space experts and space personalities. Let's talk of lunar bases and Mars colonies and asteroid mining. Based on your close experience, which of these are closest to reality and which are still primarily visions?
Well, right now the moon is huge, right? So I'm known for my Mars-centered philosophies. I want the moon to be an amazing place. I want lots of structures there. I want people living there. But when it comes to safety, the same existential crisis that kind of threatens Earth can threaten the moon more easily. I think we need to be out into Mars at least, and then look at interstellar space as our next big focal point. The sooner we get out of the solar system, the better. And I like to think about or talk about our solar system as a firing range. If I were to have a gun range and I'm standing with my gun and down there's the target, there's all kinds of signs saying, don't stand between the target and the gun. It's not a great place to be. But we have two asteroid belts. We have the inner asteroid belt just outside of Mars, and we have the Kuiper belt just outside our solar system. And these are slinging massive continent-sized rocks at times at us. Even the small ones can do a lot of damage. And so you have these two firing ranges, throwing projectiles towards us. And if we talk about it that way, it's very clear we really shouldn't be in the path of these things. We need to be clear of them. So I'm not satisfied until we're clear of the solar system, until we have interstellar ships that can maneuver real time, that can watch for threats. But I think Mars is the baseline, right? We have to at least be there. I like it because we have the asteroid belt there for resource extraction. When we talk about scarcity, I like to say scarcity ends where space begins because it's all out there waiting for us. But that being said, we need to get to the moon. It's right there. It's just so close, and we can resupply very easily. So I think as soon as possible, that needs to be a reality. And we do see it. We see now Elon Musk has kind of temporarily retrained his focus from Mars to the moon. Some people were very upset by this. I'm fine with it because as long as he engineers for Mars and aims for the moon, I'm good. Because that means that Mars is still happening, now. And then Jeff Bezos, same thing. He's kind of scuttled his space tourism focus and is aiming for the moon. This is a big sign. Major players kind of in real time together aiming for the moon. We know that there's an emission central movement behind it. So this has been mandated, and that means there's going to be a very quick settlement of the moon. So I would say no later than 2028. I'll make my call. I don't think we're going to see it any later. I think we're going to have people full-time on the moon by 2028, specialists, and then very quickly, 2030, we'll have regular people up there.
Excellent, excellent. Let's get a bit personal and visionary. You talk a lot about space as belonging to all of humanities. How does this vision include redefining how we govern and manage celestial bodies?
So that's going to be the tricky one. We can look at, early settlements. It's really easy. I think it's too easy to talk about, kind of the European settlement of the Americas, right? It's a little too easy. I think we need to go even further back and talk about maybe our leaving of Africa and spreading out into the world, or, much more baseline. So when we go to space, everything's wide open. There's just nothing out there to really stop us or define us or rein us in.